Hello, family and friends. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I wanted to do it today. As everyone well knows, that our nation, actually the world, is under a lot of distress right now due to the virus that has been plaguing this world. Now, let me just start off and say, for you that are believers, such as I am, that walk in the Spirit and listen to God's voice and know His Word, that we should not be walking in fear at this time. But let me just say that that doesn't mean that we should be walking in ignorance either. God has called us to be wise as serpent and innocent as doves. So understand the time that we're in, understand what's going on around you and around us as far as a people, and plan accordingly. As you know, things are getting kind of crazy out there. People are like cleaning out the supermarkets because they're walking in fear. We as believers should not be motivated or driven by fear, but we should be people of faith and understanding. And when I say that, what I mean is that we're not like blind to what's going on around us. We're not walking and thinking that, well, oh, God's just going to supernaturally do this for us. Although God could do supernatural things, no doubt about it. I've seen it over the lifetime of being a Christian since 1979. And He's used me mightily. And those of you that know me as a prophet, as a pastor, know that God has worked many great things through my life for His glory and for His honor. Today is no exception. And I am compelled today to tell you that in my spirit, what I feel about what's happening now is that yes, things are getting bad, but this is not yet the end. I really believe that this is a time of warning. This is a time of soul searching. What's happening now in this coronavirus? It's yes, people are dying from it, and more people will, unfortunately. But death for the believer is not a finality, if you will. Death for the believer is to be ushered into the presence of God. But until then, you and me are called to be a blessing, to be a beacon of light, to be a beacon of hope. However that is that God uses you to do that, that is what we should be doing now. Right now is one of the most exciting times that we could ever experience as believers. Because doors that were shut before because people were like just too busy to hear or were hardened in heart are no longer closed to us. People will listen to what we have to say. If we're walking with seasoned salt, if our salt is seasoned, in other words, that we're like, we know that God is in control, we have the answers for their spirit and for their eternity. That this is not our home, we're pilgrims passing through. But let me just say to you that anyone that has been on this earth for any length of time has seen things progress in a way that has not been good, in a way where people have turned their backs on God, that people have not put their trust in Him. They put their trust in other things. You know, just like, again, I've said this many times before, is that God works according to patterns. And Solomon puts it this way: there is nothing new under the sun. Things are remanufactured. The devil still is deceiving people like he was back in the Garden of Eden, and it's the same lie. The same lie saying that God is holding out on you. That if you'll only take of this fruit, that you'll be just like God. You'll know everything. And pretty much that's been what's been going on. I mean, I can get very specific with you. I won't at this time because that's not why I'm speaking. I'm speaking to bring you comfort, to bring you peace, to bring you assurance that God is on the throne. God is in control. And if you have fear in your heart, then maybe you may need to consider what's going on in your heart. Have you turned your back on God? Have you trusted yourself only? Have you tried to make things happen your way and not God's way? I know that for myself, I've had to do inventory just because I want to be in God's will. I want to be of a clear mind and a clear heart to hear what He has to say in these times. I want to be a blessing, and I know you do too. So let me just say that right now, yes, we're in a time that is a time of trouble, but it's not the great trouble. It's not the great tribulation. But I believe it is right now an opportunity and a warning that things are progressing toward what the Revelations tells us in other areas of the Bible about the end times. Make no mistake, we are in the end times. I've been saying that for many, many years. Again, I don't put a time frame on when He's coming back, when the rapture is going to happen, those kind of things. I just say, be ready, be ready, be ready, because that trumpet will sound when no man knows, only God the Father. And those of us that are ready, we will be caught up. But until then, we have a purpose here on earth. Even in the midst of this chaos, even in the midst of this death, we have a purpose to be a blessing and to let people know there is a God that reigns in heaven, and that his will is being done on earth as it is in heaven. And that those that will not follow him, then they have pronounced their own judgment on themselves. God doesn't send anyone to hell. God does not destroy. God only brings life. But if we break the laws of God and we choose to go our own ways, then, well, we basically said we're going to do it our way. And therefore, you're responsible for what happens to yourself. So again, know that this is going to pass, but I also believe that things will never be the same again. I don't know what they're going to look like necessarily. I can go on and tell you some things that I absolutely know, and I will. But at this point, I just want you to have peace. I want you to know that be praying, be aware, and be ready. Because, again, we don't know what the near future holds, but we know what eternity holds. We know who has put us in the palm of his hand, and God says, no man will pluck you out. He will provide for us, just like he provided for people in the Bible. He's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. Your provision is there. So have peace and don't panic, because God is on the throne. Thank you again for listening. This is Lifted Up. That is the ministry that I talked to you about. I apologize. I have not been able to do some videos. Some things have been happening in my own life. Besides this, most of you know my father passed away about a month ago. And so there's been some things going on the first of this year, but God has told me some very specific things since last year that I'm seeing happening now. And anyone that knows me knows that God does speak to me and things happen. So anyway, I'll be keeping you informed. Just know that I love you. I'm praying for you. And I hope that you stay in a place of peace and your rest is in God, and look to the instructions that he's giving to you and trust in him with all your heart. And he's gonna direct your path and give you that peace, okay? So until I talk to you again, which will be soon, I love you and God bless you. And remember that God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. And today is no exception, my friends. Be safe out there. God bless you.